Don't worry, it's just a snack. I'm pretty sure it's gluten-free. So, what's going on in the world? Well, it's been a while since I've been back on, but yeah, the war is sort of stopped. Trump likes to think and say that it is over right now, or well, pause until they can make negotiations. But the rumors go that Iran has not said a peep to Trump, and Trump's just stopping because this war is unpopular. If there's anything you can count on Trump to do, is he's going to do whatever he thinks is most popular. It's both his greatest asset and greatest weakness. So what's going on? Well, basically, he wants to end it, I think. And from what I can gather from Iran, which let me get their quote correct here, because what they specifically said, informed officials in Iran. Now, to be fair, these quotes can be made up. I am getting this quote from the Daily Mail. The Daily Mail got this quote from someone. Who knows? They say it's a person in the government. Maybe. Informed officials in Iran have announced that there were no negotiations and emphasized that until the U.S. completely withdrew, evacuated its bases in the region, paid compensation, and received valid guarantees not to repeat the aggression, neither would the war end, nor would the Strait of Hormuz be opened. Yeah, the U.S. is not doing any of that. Even if we were wrong, we're not doing any of that. They should know better than that. I think if that is a real statement, it's definitely one of the Trump statements where you ask for like something really ridiculous and out of like your mind, and then you settle for let's just not fight anymore. That's probably what they're going for. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know whether that's a cultural thing over there or not. But for Trump, that's definitely what he would do. So let's see what else we got here. According to this report, even after the end of the possible war situation, the Strait of Hormuz will not return to a pre-war situation. Now, the Strait of Hormuz has been closed by Iran. I have no idea how they close it when they have basically no navy left. They can't have that many missiles left. I mean, I know they launched an attack on Israel yesterday, which would be the 23rd as of the date of recording. So they clearly aren't stopping the fight, while we are stopping the fight. More likely, Trump's trying to either end the war or we're just reloading all of our missiles. Waiting for a new shipment to come in, and Trump needs to delay it and make it look like he's doing something important. To top it off, Trump is trying to shift, I guess, responsibility or blame for the war to Pete Hegseth. Hegseth. Gosh, I can never say his name. Secretary of War. Which at least the name change works now. Let's see. His exact quote: "I called a lot of our great people and I said, let's talk. We got a problem in the Middle East. We have a country known as Iran that for like 47 years has been just a purveyor of terror, and they're close to a nuclear weapon. And Pete, I think you were the first one to speak up, and you said, let's do it, because you can't let them have a nuclear weapon." That's my best Trump. I don't know if that's good enough. Was it Pete's idea? Probably not. Trump's been anti-Iran, well, pretty much his entire life. If you go back, you can find clips of him saying we should have bombed Iran. Iran's been a thorn in America's side for the better part of my lifetime. So, I mean, I remember back in the mid-early 2000s where Bush was wanting, I think, to bomb Iran. Probably should have did it back then. He even called them part of the axis of evil along with North Korea. I believe Iraq, too. Or was it Libya? I think it was Libya, Iran, and North Korea were the axis of evil. I think he gave that as a speech to the UN, probably while their delegates were sitting there, which has got to be funny. Bush was a good president. You know, he did some bad things, but he wasn't a terrible guy. I still would vote for Trump. After all this, I would vote for him again. He's still the best president I've had. He accomplishes things. People are arguing over whether the Iran war is even worth doing. Assuming we win, of course. It's only worth doing a war if you win. Assuming we are victorious in this endeavor, is it worth it? Are we wasting lives? Maybe, maybe not. The real thing is, Iran's an unstable part of the region. It's a dictatorship. It's not a good place. they're always challenging American authority, and if you want power, you have to not have people do that. So it's good for America to have this done, but how good is it? Well, time will really tell. I think in the long run, if we're successful here, this will be a good thing. However, I tend to see right now it appears more helpful to the Iranian people than it is to the American people. We did them a solid by helping get rid of some of the dictatorship parts of their government. So it's like going to another country and feeding the poor. It's great. It's a nice thing to do, but should your tax dollars be paying for it? Should lives be spent on it? I just don't know if you can really sell that right now. Maybe if you could see the future 20 years from now and Iran's no longer a threat, maybe this is fine. Maybe this is okay. But I am not convinced that it is okay. I just don't think it's a good idea. I think while it may be a good thing, like it's not a moral evil, I don't think it's a net benefit at the moment. It's costing more money than we're making. But Trump's been right about a lot of things before that I disagreed on, and he ended up being right and I was wrong. So, hey, I hope I'm wrong. Let's see if he has any anything here about it. I don't believe Trump has been speaking on Iran on any of his public videos, so he has not done a whole lot with that. So no, I don't got anything on Trump right now. What do you guys think? Would you vote for Trump if you knew that Trump was going to start a war in Iran? Like, it was going to be, it wasn't a reactive war. It was Trump goes, you know what, these guys are in my way, and we need to fix this problem. And he goes ahead and does it. Would you still vote for him? Now, I think a lot of people may not have. I still would have. But a lot of people are anti-war. A lot of people were anti-war that voted for Trump. That he got the anti-war vote because he just kind of was. And I still think Trump views most war as probably like a waste of money. But that viewpoint of mine is starting to change with this. He started it. Like, it wasn't... They say that they might get a nuclear weapon. They've been saying that for 20 years. They might get a nuclear weapon. They might get a nuclear weapon. Okay. I don't want them to have one either. I don't want, I don't want any other country but us to have it. Of course, yeah. I don't want anyone else to have weapons at all except for me. That's the dream. That's why the government doesn't like the Second Amendment. We don't want anyone else to have weapons other than us. Well, we have this pesky amendment to the Constitution that allows it. And that's kind of where we're at with nuclear weapons. We've been trying to stop it forever. I'm surprised Israel hasn't launched one yet. I'm waiting for that to happen. I am waiting. I think if they're ever going to do it, it'd be now. I just can't quite figure out where they're going to launch it. I don't think they'd target the capital, but where else would they launch one and put it? I don't know. Israel supposedly has 300 nuclear weapons, probably supplied by us. I don't think they have the resources to enrich uranium inside of Israel. But hey, maybe I don't know. It's a big process to do that kind of thing. They created the whole Tennessee Valley Authority back in the 30s and 40s to enrich uranium. And they built large power plants to do it. So to say that this is something Israel natively has, I don't know. Sorry, get off topic on Israel a little bit. But is this a good thing for Israel? Absolutely. This is a big win for them if they can win the war. And so far, they're coming out on top. Whether they can maintain that, I don't know. That's the real question. I think they will. Iran is a large country, though, and it's no Iraq. Iran has a larger manufacturing base. They're far easily more defended. Mountainous terrain is just difficult, so they know we're not invading. Now, Trump's floated the idea of invading a small island off the coast of Iran, where they have a lot of their oil production facilities, where they basically ship, I think, 90% of their oil out of. If he is going to invade, it's there. I don't think Trump is going to do that. It's already unpopular enough. Putting a boot on the ground, technically, it's not Iran. It's Iran. It's an island. It's like saying we invaded Hawaii. It's not really America. No, it's America. So it's the same basic principle that he's trying to sell. So I don't think it's something he should do. I don't think it's something he will do. Now, am I going to not support the presidency and American troops and anything like that? Absolutely not. I'm going to still support him. I think that it's still a It's still not a moral evil. I just don't agree with the politics of it. Trump's now using the military to achieve political goals. And people say, well, he's not allowed to do that. He needs the Congress to declare war. Congress does have to declare war. But the president, according to the Constitution and the way it's been interpreted by the Supreme Court, has generally 60 days to order troops to do whatever he needs them to do. And then another 30 days after to retreat. So he has 90 days to do whatever he wants, pretty much. And we're, a month in maybe? So he's got some time. But he knows his time's running out. And I think Iran probably knows his time's running out. It's already unpopular enough. I think Congress would vote to stop it. Bush had the authority and the votes to keep going. It was, he had every Republican pretty much supporting him in continuing the war, particularly in Iraq. In fact, he even had Democrats. Hillary Clinton voted to continue the war in Iraq, despite everything she may say about how she was against it. Well, she voted for it, so maybe against it. That just goes to show you the military-industrial complex. These big corporations have everybody under their thumb. And that's where they make their money. They need you to use these missiles. You know how much these missiles cost? They are expensive. You're looking at millions of dollars per shot, depending on which missile. Now, some missiles can be like $100,000. But still, one shot, $100,000, $2 million, that's a lot of money. I think we've spent, the last number I saw was a reload of $200 billion is what Pete Hedges was asking for. I don't think we spent that much quite yet, but in the billions, for sure. We've launched a lot of missiles. Now, this is a Trump way to do things. Why send boots on the ground when you can just blow them up from space? Which is what most missiles do. Launches into orbit, drops the payload, hits the Earth at supersonic speeds, too fast to be intercepted. Generally, that's what most ballistic missiles do. Now, there's other different types of missiles that are just targeting missiles. You have all kinds of different things. And I'm not really a war channel, so I'm sure there's other channels out there that can better describe it than I can. But that's my thing. I still think it's a good idea. It's not a moral bad. It's not a good idea, but it's not a moral evil. Trump's not a bad guy. He's not trying to take over the world. He sees it as a problem that needs to be solved, and he's using the military to solve it. Now, is he going to be successful? This might be a tough one. I hope we are. It depends. If Congress pulls us out, then we're going to lose. Is it technically a war? No. Technically, the war in Korea was not a war. We call it the Korean War, but it was a conflict. Legal definition of war. We haven't legally been at war since World War II. I think we only had one congresswoman vote against going to war. So, in World War II. Weird situation on that one, but another story. What do you guys think? Good idea? Bad idea? Let me know. I'd like to talk to people. Have a blessed day. We'll see you next time.